I began investing in real estate in 2019. I bought this private home where I rent out 2 bedrooms and I live in the 3rd. And in 2021, I started up a small company where we ended up buying 2 apartments, which we now use as long-term rentals in Nuuk, Greenland. After 1 year of fairly easy operation, what can I say? Reality hit me right in the face. Life threw me a curveball at the same time of many other challenges. You know those moments when it just seems like everything is just against you? I think you know what I'm talking about here. In my experience, life usually comes in waves. You know, those months where it seems like nothing is really happening and everything is just cruising along fine. And then suddenly, everything just seems to come all at once, crashing on you like a huge tsunami. Well, you're in for a treat. In this video, I will be going over my first tenant eviction. What happened? How the apartment looks after? Is it completely trashed? Or do I still have an apartment? And what I learned from this not so pleasant experience. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, press the like button, and here is to my very first, but probably not last, tenant eviction. And as you can also see, it is November, so I got my little No Shade November stash going on. To my first tenant eviction, this really sucked, not gonna lie. I probably grew an extra few gray hairs out of my head. But before we begin, please keep in mind, at this time where I got this very infuriating email ticking into my email account, I had a lot of other business going on my table, including, but not exclusively limited to, so if we take all those things into consideration, on top of that, I had to deal with a tenant eviction, my first one. But the story goes, I was just casually looking at my email on my phone, and then suddenly a message from the real estate administrator ticking in, stating very clearly that my tenant had been involved in a domestic dispute where police had been involved. Oh great, police, domestic dispute, and other people in the housing association being not so happy about the whole situation. My heart basically started racing. My blood pressure increased tenfold. Not gonna lie, a lot of stuff was going on in my brain at that moment, being that this is a completely new situation for me. I was angry and I was sad at the same time, as I knew this episode definitely had to face some consequences. So emails were exchanged in order to document the whole process. As humans are usually creatures of habit, and accumulated events prior with this particular tenant, I knew that an eviction was what had to happen. So I started to prepare my mind for such a situation. Yeah. Working to create the smoothest eviction process, I teamed up with a buddy of mine to go up and do the first inspection of the property. Unfortunately, it was still filled with furniture, even though I had told them to move out and given them a time frame for that. And the next problem, not a single moving company in Nuuk had either time or space to store furniture. Just great. Another problem to tackle, but eventually we found storage space in a container somewhere, and they got moved out and cleaned the place up. Then came the state of the apartment. Should we go see it? Yeah, I think we should go see it. Okay, we're coming into the apartment now. Yeah. Oh, what? They don't look that bad. Huh. It actually looks pretty fine. Not so much drama. And the view, oh my god, the view! Look at this. Wow. The view is something else. Not gonna lie, it actually looks pretty fine. And they also just installed like an electrical cabinet hider protector, but it actually looks fine. Like, besides there were some like minor scratches a little here in the door frames, and then we also had some light strips going up here that ripped apart the paint a little bit. But besides that, it looks fine. A nice apartment. I really like this place actually. The view with the little balcony here, just sitting there, having a drink, smoking a nice cigar, looking out over, I mean, they do still have a lot of construction, but this area is gonna be fire. In the summertime there's a football pitch, like a sports arena. There's gonna be another sports club right here. And then we also have a kindergarten, piece of shit. But all in all, nice place. To conclude, the whole eviction process was actually pretty undramatic. The tenant knew that they had done something wrong and they knew that the partnership could not continue. Apartment was left in good shape, besides some minor scratches here and there and a little bit of paint missing. That was pretty much it. And then not just forget the whole headache process. And this whole thing being a pain in the butt. And now this place is, as you can see, pretty much sitting empty at the moment, so we're losing money by the day. But to be quite fair, I actually think the most terror was occurring up in my own head, as I was basically having this one going on, analyzing every single what if scenario and what definitely could go wrong and probably would go wrong in this whole eviction process. But to sum up my learnings, I got up with 3 points that I want to come across with, so that this hopefully doesn't happen again. It probably will happen again, but then I will be better prepared. And for you guys out there considering getting into real estate and renting out for long term or even short term, well, number one is definitely to create and have a very good rental contract with your tenant, so that it states what is going to happen during, for example, let's say an eviction process, or what's going to happen during other processes, such as when a tenant loses a key, which has also happened. So what is going to happen, the consequences stated out so that each part understands what will happen. The obvious one is definitely to screen your tenants better. Very simple. Number 3, tenants are human beings, and human beings, they tend to be doing human stuff. And being in real estate is all about humans. So if you don't like humans, probably not the best place to be. Thank you all for watching. Please drop me a like so I can regain my sanity. Over and out. Okay, bye. If you want a little tour of the apartment, we have the entrance right here, going into a nice bathroom, complete with a toilet and a place to shower and a washer and dryer. And in the entrance we have some cabinets for your clothes and stuff. And then we enter into the main studio room. Lighting is not that great at the moment, but the view is great. It's not that big. I think in American measurements it's 450 square feet, so about 43 square meters. But what this apartment has is a nice view, and it also has a balcony, which my current place is missing. So really nice balcony with a pretty cool view. Yeah.